Have you given out your children's outgrown clothes to your neighbors recently? Or is it that your friend that couldn't afford good clothes for her children? Let's see. Ada was married to Lawrence, a billionaire businessman whose name commanded respect across Lagos and beyond. Their lives were a definition of luxury. An opulent mansion with marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and everything money could buy. Ada, with her elegance and charm, was not just a wife, but the heart of their home, raising their 2 children in absolute comfort. Yet, despite all the wealth surrounding her, she never forgot where she came from. Every Easter without fail, Lawrence insisted they travel to the village. It was a tradition he held there, a way to reconnect with family and the roots that shaped their journey. That Easter, as always, their convoy of luxury SUVs was loaded with gifts, foodstuffs, and cash, making its way through the dusty roads to the village. Their arrival was an event. Relatives, friends, and even strangers gathered, drawn by the generosity that accompanied them. As the household buzzed with activity, Ada decided to take a stroll to the village market, a place she hadn't visited in years. It was there that she spotted her childhood friend Azuka. The sight stopped her in her tracks. Once full of life, Azuka now looked frail. Her clothes faded, and her slippers barely holding together. She clutched a small basket of vegetables, hoping to sell enough to buy a meal for her family. Azuka. Ada's voice trembled as she stepped forward. Azuka looked up, her weary eyes widening in shock, before a small hesitant smile appeared. Ada. Ada didn't wait. She pulled her old friend into a warm embrace. It's been so long. How are you? Azuka swallowed hard, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Life has not been kind though, she admitted. My husband has no work, and feeding my children is a daily struggle. Ada felt a pang in her chest. She couldn't stand to see her friend like this. Come to my house tomorrow, she said firmly. I will do something to help you. The next day, Azuka arrived at the Grand Lawrence estate in the village. The sheer difference between their lives was undeniable. Ada welcomed her with warmth, leading her inside and offering her a seat. I may not be able to fix everything today, Ada said gently, but I can help you get back on your feet. She disappeared into her children's room and carefully packed a bag of outgrown clothes and shoes. Then she gathered bags of rice, oil, and other foodstuffs before placing a generous sum of money in an envelope. She handed everything to Azuka. Take this for now. When I get back to Lagos, I will speak to my husband. We will find work for you and Ikenna. Azuka was overwhelmed. She fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, Ada. May God bless you and your family. Ada smiled, helping her up. No need to thank me. That's what friends are for. But as Azuka walked home, a storm of emotions brewed inside her. At first, she felt gratitude. But the closer she got to her small crumbling hut, the more envy crept in. She looked at her clothes, shoes, and money in her hands, then thought of Ada's mansion, her fine clothes, and her children who lacked nothing. Why does Ada have everything while I have nothing? She thought bitterly. We hugged groundnuts together in the village. Back then, I even made more money than her. Look at her now, and look at me. Her children ran out excitedly to greet her, their small faces lightening up at the sight of the gifts. Their joy should have warmed her heart, but instead, it fueled her resentment. She thought of how Ada's children must get new clothes every month, while hers wore Okrika-Fort Greek clothes. That evening, when Ikenna returned home, his face was heavy with exhaustion. He collapsed into a wooden chair. I couldn't find any work today, he sighed. Azuka glared at him. Do you know Ada gave me these things? As if I'm a beggar, she snapped. Who does she think she is? Just because she lives in a palace while we rot in this shack? Ikenna sighed, shaking his head. Azuka, be grateful. Not everyone would do this for you. She's helping us, and in this economy, that means something. But Azuka couldn't let it go. The bitterness had already taken roots, and it wouldn't be long before it consumed her completely. The next day, Azuka confided in her neighbor Amaka, a woman known for her sharp tongue and daring ideas. Ada thinks she's better than you, Amaka sneered, fanning the flames of jealousy. Do you really think she gave you those things out of kindness? No. She wanted to flaunt her wealth and make you feel small. Azuka's anger twisted into resentment. I won't let her look down on me, she said, her face clenching. I will show her Pepe. Original Pepe. A knowing smile curled on Amaka's lips. I have an idea. There is a native doctor on the outskirts of the village. He can change fortunes. Take these clothes and some money to him, and he would turn their happiness into misery. Azuka hesitated. Isn't that too extreme? Too extreme? Amaka scoffed. She gave you scraps and made you feel grateful. Don't you want your children to have a better life? Azuka's thought turned. She recalled Ada's luxurious home, her perfect family, and those empty promises to help her. Promises that felt more like pity. Slowly, bitterness drowned out her better judgment. The following morning, Azuka gathered the clothes, shoes, and money and made her way to the native doctor. His hut was hidden among thick trees, eerie and silent. The air smelled of burning herbs, and shadows danced along the walls. What do you seek? The native doctor's voice was deep, his gaze piercing. Azuka took a shaky breath. I want to bring down the family who gave me these things, she declared, her voice laced with anger. I want their wealth to vanish. I want their children to suffer. The native doctor studied her carefully. Are you ready to pay the price? Yes, she said, her bitterness snuffing out any lingering hesitation. He picked up a small pair of shoes from the pile, turning them over in his hands. His eyes narrowed. These belonged to Ada's children, but they wore them first. The curse will tie to them. The sickness will start with them and spread to their family. Azuka's heart pounded. You mean Ada's children will fall ill? The native doctor nodded solemnly. Their bond with this garment is strong. The spell will drain their vitality, and no medicine will cure them. Their parents will pour their wealth into seeking solutions, but none will work. Their riches will slip away like water through their fingers. He spread the clothes across a wooden table, sprinkling them with a dark powder. His voice rose and fell into a rhythmic chant, the room growing heavy with unseen energy. These garments will carry your will. Those who first wore them will feel their strength fade. Their wealth will crumble. Their happiness will rot. Azuka watched in grim fascination as the native doctor bound the clothes with black and red threads, holding them over a small fire. The flames flared widely, casting eerie shadows. It is done, he declared. The sickness will find them, and their fortune will drain away. A strange thrill coursed through Azuka. The thought of Ada's perfect life unraveling filled her with a twisted satisfaction. A small voice of doubt whispered in the back of her mind, but she silenced it as she turned to leave the hut. 1 week after the Lawrence family returned to Lagos, the curse began its slow, insidious work. At first, it was barely noticeable. Minor ailments, lingering fatigue. Ada thought nothing of it. Children got sick all the time, especially in a bustling city like Lagos. She blamed the stress, the change in weather. But then, Amanda, her 3-year-old daughter, changed. The once energetic girl lost her appetite. Her round cheeks became hollow. Her laughter disappeared. Her energies drained away until she barely had the strength to play. Alarmed, Ada took Amanda to the doctor. Nothing serious, the doctor assured her. Probably just a virus. She'll recover soon. But Amanda did not recover. Her fever worsened. Her small body grew frail. Her nights restless with pain. Then her older brother Kosiso fell ill. His weight dropped rapidly. His bright eyes dulled. His head throbbed with unbearable pain. Desperate, Ada and Chief Lawrence sought help from the best hospitals in Lagos. Test after test was conducted, but every result came back the same. Nothing was medically wrong. This is unusual, one specialist admitted. They appear healthy on paper, but their symptoms suggest otherwise. Perhaps you should seek a second opinion. The lack of answers gnawed at Ada's spirit. Sleepless nights passed as she watched over her children, listening to their labored breathing. Chief Lawrence, once calm and composed, was unraveling under the pressure. While Ada battled their children's illness, he fought another war. His businesses began to collapse. Contracts he had secured for years were suddenly revoked. Long-time clients pulled out of deals, citing unforeseen circumstances. One of his factories was gutted by an unexplained fire, resulting in millions of losses. We will recover. Chief Lawrence reassured Ada, but even he didn't believe it. His once bustling bank accounts bled dry as he poured money into hospital bills and business losses. For the first time in their marriage, Ada and Chief Lawrence sat at their dining table late at night, discussing the unthinkable. "We might have to sell some assets," Chief Lawrence admitted, rubbing his temples in frustration. "We have to save the children," Ada whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. "I will sell my jewelry, if I have to." He shook his head, but worry lined his face. "We will get through this. We just need to stay strong." But deep inside, a terrible fear took root. The storm was only beginning. Meanwhile, Azuka could barely contain her excitement when she returned home. The weight of resentment she had carried for long felt lighter, replaced by a dark satisfaction. She watched as days passed, waiting eagerly for any sign that the curse was taking effect. When she heard whispers from the village about Ada and her family facing hardship in Lagos, she knew it had begun. A slow, sinister smile played on her lips. Amaka, ever curious, paid her a visit. "Have you heard? Ada's children are sick, and her husband's businesses are failing." "Serves her right," she said, her eyes gleaming with malice. Azuka nodded, feigning concern, but inside, her heart pounded with eerie thrill. It was working. One evening, as Ada sat by Amanda's bedside, stroking her thin fingers, a deep sense of dread washed over her. Her instinct screamed that this was not a natural illness. Something unseen, something malevolent was at work. Desperation drove her to action. "We need to try something different," she told Chief Lawrence that night. "Medicine has failed us. We need to seek spiritual help." Chief Lawrence, exhausted and broken, hesitated. He had never been one to believe in supernatural forces, but the fear in Ada's eyes and the pitiful state of their children left him with no choice. The following morning, they visited a highly respected prophet in Lagos. The moment they stepped into his dimly lit prayer hall, the young man studied them with piercing eyes. "You have been cursed," he declared. Before they could even explain, Ada gasped. Chief Lawrence stiffened. "Your children's sickness is no ordinary ailment. It is tied to something they once owned. Someone close to you has turned against you in jealousy. This is not a mere coincidence. It is an attack. The enemy was someone you once called a friend," he said solemnly. "A woman from your past, one who allowed bitterness to consume her heart." Ada's heart pounded as the image of Azuka flashed before her eyes. She couldn't believe it. How could someone she had helped, someone she had lifted when she had nothing, turn against her in such a cruel way? She felt a mix of anger, disappointment, and sadness. Tears streamed down Ada's face. Chief Lawrence clenched his fist. "What do we do, Prophet?" he asked hoarsely. "We must pray hard. The devil is a liar. There is nothing God cannot do through prayers. Prayer is the ultimate key." The prophet guided Ada and Chief Lawrence in intense prayers, giving them Bible verses to meditate on daily. Every night, they knelt by their children's bedside, their voices trembling with desperation as they cried out for divine intervention. The pastor also fasted and interceded on their behalf, urging them to hold on to faith. Days turned into weeks, and gradually, the dark cloud that loomed over their home began to lift. Amanda and Kosiso showed signs of recovery. Their fevers subsided, their appetites returned, and the sparkle in their eyes slowly reappeared. Chief Lawrence's business, once on the brink of collapse, started stabilizing. Deals that had slipped through his fingers suddenly reopened, and hope was restored in their household. Meanwhile, in the village, Azuka suffered the consequences of her evil deeds. Strange illnesses tormented her children. Everything she had done to others' children backfired to her own children. And her husband lost his little source of livelihood. No matter where she turned, misfortunes followed her like a shadow. Unable to bear the weight of her actions, she finally broke down and confessed to the village elders, weeping as she recounted her betrayal. The native doctor who had cast the spell had vanished, leaving her to face the full wrath of her actions. Word reached Ada about Azuka's confession. People urged her to take revenge, but Ada knew better. Vengeance belongs to God, she whispered to herself. Instead of harboring hate, she chose to pray for Azuka's repentance, knowing that bitterness only destroys the one who carries it. Moral lessons. Jealousy blinds people to the blessings in their own lives and leads them down a destructive path. Kindness should not be mistaken for weakness. True strength lies in continuing to be good, even when others betray you. Evil never goes unpunished. Whatever we sow, we shall reap. Azuka's bitterness cost her everything. Forgiveness is powerful. Ada's decision to forgive freed her from the chains of hatred and allowed her to move forward in peace. Please be prayerful and watchful during this coming Easter. Don't forget to give. Pray first before giving out anything to anybody. With renewed faith and a heart free from bitterness, Ada embraced her family once more, grateful for their second chance at life. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, please like the video, comment what you have learned from the tale, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more enchanting tales just like this one. See you on the next one. Thank you and God bless. Bye.